Hey, welcome back to Crimes and Closets. This is Christy in my closet in St. Louis.
And this is Beth in my closet in North Carolina.
Happy Monday, Beth. How's it going?
It's great. It's a Monday, October. It's fall.
Yes.
It's my birthday. It's almost Halloween.
I know. Yep.
It's my favorite time of year.
Exactly a week away from her birthday when this drops, and exactly a week from our collab with What Happens in the Woods, and they're back. Yay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are, and they're back with me. I will be on their episode, their returning episode. So that's exciting. So you have to go. You guys have to go listen to my case, which is really good in the worst way.
I think I blocked it from memory because I can't remember it right now.
Well, hold on. I can spoiler that, and to remind you that we heard about it at CrimeCon.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
I do remember now.
Yes.
What, can we spoil it and say what the theme is?
I think so. I mean, we can do whatever we want. We run this thing.
Okay. Well, so we decided this year to do like ritualistic / culty murders.
Mm-hmm.
Murders or crimes.
Well, no,
I guess not.
I was going to say mine doesn't have any murders.
Right. Crime.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say murders.
Right.
So yeah. So that's different and interesting that we typically don't like pinpoint. So fun. It was fun. I mean, and it's just fun to be with them. It's always so late though when we're recording. Like I feel like we need to switch things up a little on that.
I agree.
End,
yes. It's very hard for me to, especially towards the end, because it's like after midnight my time, and I am like a pumpkin.
Right. Yeah.
An uncute, kind of grumpy pumpkin.
Right.
So I'm a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah. Okay.
Makes more sense to me.
You should have seen her face.
I resonate more with that. Yeah. Yes, you should.
Wish I was recording the video as well.
Yes. Yeah, so that's happening. So go and listen to What Happens in the Woods and support them and follow them and wait for ours. For Christy and Jess on ours, which is great.
I'll be out. Well, ours will be out Monday the 28th, and theirs will be out the Friday after on the 1st.
Yeah, right after Halloween
on the same week. So you don't have to wait long.
Right? Yeah, it's a twofer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exciting. So I do have a silly. It's not really silly. I mean, it kind of is, but I don't know if I've told the people that I'm doing fresh milled flour these days. Have I told the people that?
I don't know.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did because I posted a video of
that's right.
me milling. Okay. So I literally am like trying, which it's not hard because it's just, you're literally just crushing the flour right before you do it. So it's not like anything different and it's just better for you. So anyway, but I am attempting to make like all of our own like bread products. So like, I've always made our bread, like sandwich bread, but, I am going to make our own tortillas. I made our own pasta and crackers, like not all the time, but for some things I would like to do it all the time. Like we're grilling out today as of recording today. And so I wanted to make my own hamburger and hot dog buns. It's like, why not? So I got this recipe from friends of mine that also do it. And I'm like, I'm going to try this. So I did it last night because I was like, if I'm terrible at it, then I'll still have the morning to try it one more time before I'd have to go to the store and buy some.
Okay.
So last night I'm doing this.
A, B, and C.
Yes. I'm very, very regimented here. So yesterday I did it and they looked great. Like I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually working. Everything is going the way the recipe said, blah, blah, blah. And I go to bake them. And when I baked them, they were like tiny, like they're slider buns.
Oh,
and tiny hot dog buns.
Oh no. I was going to say, well, you can make sliders, like just make your hamburger smaller, but I don't know what you're going to do with the hot dog buns.
I mean, the hot dogs would be fine. They'd just be like hanging off like they were foot-long hot dogs with a small bun,
Yeah,
like,
right. Nobody wants that.
So really,
or you can use 2 buns.
Yeah,
2 buns per hot dog.
I guess.
And cut the hot dog in half.
Okay, well, it's a moot point now because half of them have been eaten because we were like, well, we don't want to use them for hamburgers tomorrow, so let's just taste them. So we were like buttering them up last night, and I had girls over for bachelor, and they were like buttering them up, and well, one was, and my littlest ate like 3 or 4 of them, like just sat down after practice and was just like shoving them in his mouth. Like,
I love bread too.
So do I.
I'm there for that.
And they were delicious. They tasted exactly like they were. I was going to say,
how were they?
Yeah, no, they were great. They're better than, I don't feel like typically like hamburger hot dog buns have like much flavor anyway, but like this bread has like seriously good flavor because it's just so much fresher.
Right.
Anyway, so whatever. So this morning after recording, I'm going to attempt the second attempt.
Okay.
And I know what I did. I'm fairly certain I know what I did. You have to let it rise twice. Like you let the dough rise and then you form them and you let them rise again as like buns. And in the recipe, it says, let them rise until they're puffy. And like smooth. And so I did that. But really, not general rule, it's pretty much the rule, is you let things double. I didn't let it double.
Oh, double in size. Got it. Okay.
Yes. When you're doing bread and you're letting it rise, it's typically like let it double. And so I was like, I'm such a rule like direction follower. And it didn't say that. It just said till they're puffy and smooth. And I thought they might, get bigger in the oven. But then I was texting my friends. I'm like, I don't know what I did. And they're like, yeah, I don't think you let them raise the second time, like long enough. It should double. And I was like, we didn't say that. Didn't say that in directions. And they were like, well, that's a typical rule. I'm like, I know, but it didn't say it.
You got to listen to your bread instincts over there, Betty Crocker.
Yeah, I know. Because I was looking at them going, are they really going to get that much bigger? Like, I expect them to get a little bit bigger in the oven, but I didn't know. I was like, they might not get that much bigger. And they didn't. So.
All right. Well, I'm excited to hear how round 2 goes.
Yeah, I might have to. I think there's a couple of hot dog buns left. I might take a picture side by side of like, this is my first attempt. This is my second attempt.
Yes, compare. I want to see.
So
love it.
I'll let you know. Okay. I'll have to write that down. Post bun pictures.
Yes,
on social media.
You're going to write that down and then you're going to go back later and be like, I have no idea what this means.
My buns or somebody else's.
All your buns. Post your buns. Social.
Post your puffy buns. I got those.
No, your miniature buns. Post those baby buns.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
we're a little like slappy today.
Right. Yes. Well, you got anything else?
I don't have anything else. No, I don't.
Okay. Well, we're going to go right into a crime then, I guess.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Well, here I go.
Okay. Let's do it.
So today's case was sent to us by email.
Okay.
It's not the typical, I mean, people do, and there's nothing wrong with it, but usually it's like Instagram, Facebook Messenger, like whatever. Anyway, Christina sent this to us.
Hello, Christina. Thank you.
Totally did not ask her permission to say her name, and so I hope she's fine with that.
Okay.
She doesn't have like a connection to the story, so I'm sure it is. But anyway, we are going to head to California for this
Cali
case.
crime.
Yes, we are going to start out in Fremont, California, which is southeast San Francisco Bay Area.
All right.
And this is where Sierra LeMar was born on October 19th, 1996.
Oh, it's like her birthday, basically.
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Wow.
So isn't it weird when that stuff happens?
It is. It happens so often, too.
Yeah. She was born to Marlene and Stephen LeMar. Sierra has another sister, an older sister. I'm not sure if they're the same parents or not because there's not like a whole lot. It's just mentioned like, oh, she has an older sister and her name is Danielle. But okay. I'm assuming same parents, but I don't know for sure. Sierra would be raised in that area and attend high school during the start of her high school career. And then due to her parents' divorce, her and her mother moved down to Morgan Hill, which was about 45 minutes south of Fremont in early October of 2011.
Okay.
She then transferred to Ann Sobrata High School just after the start of her sophomore year. Because think about it, like school starts like what, August, September probably there. And this is October. So she like started high school sophomore year and then moved and had to start, in October.
Okay.
Sierra was very friendly, funny, and a personable teen, and so she made friends very easily. She was also a cheerleader, so I'm sure, you know, when you're involved in stuff like that, it helps you make friends faster.
Built-in friends, yep.
Yeah. She made a lot of friends, became pretty popular very quickly. It's important to mention here that Sierra's father, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not important. I felt like it was, but he's a registered sex offender. And I'm not sure if that played a role in her parents' divorce, but I'm assuming it did. It was about 5 years earlier during a slumber party. Her father was accused of molesting 8 to 9-year-old girls at the party. And I'm assuming
Sierra's friends?
Well, if you think about the age, if she's 15, about to turn 16, 5 years earlier, it would have been, 8, 9, 10, 10
that is very disturbing. I don't love that at all.
Yeah. He was charged with 10 counts, but pled guilty to 1 count of lewd and lascivious acts with children under 14 of age. Not much is out there on this, and also not much is said by the people close to him about their thoughts on it. I don't know what Sierra's mom thought. I don't know what Sierra thought, like if she believed it happened or not. Like I don't know. I mean, clearly he pled guilty, so something happened. But it does play like a small role in this case.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a pretty impactful thing to happen to your family.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know like how much she saw her dad after that, like once they moved, I don't know any of those like logistical things like that. So Sierra and her mom and mom's boyfriend, they all lived in the house together, had a pretty typical routine. Her mom and boyfriend would leave around 6 a.m. to head to work, while Sierra stayed home to get ready for school. She typically left the house around 7 a.m. to walk a few blocks to her bus stop. On March 16th, 2012, so like she's there about 6 months, she started out like any other morning. Mom and her boyfriend left for work. Sierra would leave to walk to the bus stop, but she would never make it those few streets to the bus stop. Her mom came home from work that evening, really, and Sierra was not home. And that was strange because she was always home before her mom. And her mom was also concerned because she knew she had a hair appointment that day. And I don't know how she knew, but she knew she missed it. So I don't know if like the place called and left a message, like wondering where she was
and the school didn't alert her.
Well,
we talk about this. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so this is 2012. I mean, it's really not that long ago, but anyway,
I graduated in the year 2000, and my school was alerting my mother if I was not there.
Well, yes, but when were they alerting you? Because, okay, here's the thing. Around 6 p.m., Marlene received an email that Sierra had been marked absent from school that day. So, like, now you get one I get one now. These automated systems are so much better. Like, the minute they take attendance, I mean, it's a little bit. They'll sometimes give you a little bit of time to get in, like, oh, what if they're going to be late or whatever? They kind of wait. But like within an hour of the school day starting, now you get that phone call.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe like it was just the times, because I don't know when my parents would have gotten phone calls, honestly. Like,
yeah. Or like the teacher doesn't turn the attendance in until the end of the day at 3:00. And then that's when the phone calls go out, kind of thing.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I think thankfully these automated systems have gotten better. So anyways, but at this time, like, well, and especially for Sierra and her mom, it's valuable time that they could not get back. This is all day long, almost 12 hours.
Right.
Because she left at 6 a.m. and now it's 6 p.m. that she finds out that she didn't get on the bus. So Marlene calls to report her daughter missing, and a search immediately began. And of course, you know how they're like in the beginning, like, well, it could be a runaway, all that kind of stuff.
She's a teenager.
Yes.
Wait and see. She's with her friends.
Yeah. They're still out looking, and there's lots of volunteers that show up to search for her. Friends and family are spoken to because they want to rule out whether or not she possibly ran away. Some thought that she could have been upset about the divorce, about the move, about dad, blah, 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 and leaving all of her friends. But everyone that they talked to seemed to think that like she was quite happy and hadn't been showing any signs that she wanted to run away or that this whole thing was bothering her. So early on, they found that she had posted a selfie on her social media platform at 7 a.m.
Okay. Do you know what it was? I know that's not relevant. I was just curious if it was MySpace. Okay.
No, it didn't say. It just said social media.
Okay.
At 7:11, she texted with a friend from school, and they discussed meeting up before school to compare homework and to do their makeup together. So
cute. Okay.
Also signs of somebody who's not planning to run away because she's letting her friend know, I'll be at school soon. Want to meet up?
She's literally planning to not run away.
Yeah, exactly. Her sister was in college in Sacramento at the time, and she said that her and Sierra were in regular contact pretty much multiple times a week, about silly stuff, school, boys, etc., friends.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom could also show texts from Sierra that would show that, Sierra usually keeps her aware of her whereabouts, and things did not seem like, she was going to run away, basically. So, also, her mom and sister were like, if she had plans, we feel like we would know because we would see signs, like she would maybe be distant with us and start withdrawing. So anyway, she did not sound like a runaway at all. Searchers were out every day, and it was a really hard area to search because surrounding her home, they had fields, hills, reservoirs, woods, ravines, and thick brush. So they're trying to climb through all of this stuff to look for her.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in a dog to track her scent, but that dog only tracked her about halfway down her street, and then it went cold. So it's a pretty quick grab from once she left the house, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Searchers would find used condoms near a box with the label stainless steel handcuffs on them.
Oh, no.
Which they sent for testing. Now, where they found it was an area known to be a spot for teens to go and hook up. So it is a possibility that it was could be anybody's, but still you're missing teen. Let's send it all in just in case her DNA shows up on March 17th, which is the day after she disappeared, about a mile from her home, her cell phone was found intact. Kind of it was just tossed out a window or something, and it slated in some grass or whatever. And on March 18th, about 2 intersections away from where her phone was found, there was a pink Juicy brand purse found, which was Sierra's. And inside of it was her jeans, bra, underwear, and shirt, all neatly folded and stuffed inside.
Oh, I don't like this. Not one single bit. Mm-mm.
There was some mud on the clothing, which indicated she may have been dragged at some point. Further searches of her phone and computer, again, gave no indication that she was a runaway, and that, coupled with the finding of her belongings in different places, classified her as a person who was missing involuntary. So now she's been abducted.
Yeah, she has no clothes.
Yeah, no. Very early on, so this is where I say her dad's thing played a role, because clearly you're a sex offender of children, registered sex offender. So, but he comes forward to the police proactively. He's I want to be upfront and honest with you. This is before you find out, you're going to find out this is in my background because you're going to search us. This is what I have against me. I'm a registered sex offender. He was cooperative, and it was determined early on that he had nothing to do with it, but they did have to clearly look into him because of this. Anyway, so like I said, very small role, but it was initially he was I got to tell you, it wasn't me, but this is why you're going to think it was me. So anyway, police also confirmed the whereabouts of every sex offender in the area.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Sierra's belongings are being tested for DNA.
Okay.
12 days after she disappeared on March 28th, 2012, someone was put on their radar. 21-year-old Antolin Garcia Torres. His DNA was in the CODIS system due to a previous felony battery that was resulted in serious bodily harm. So his DNA was found on Sierra's jeans.
Oh, okay.
Antolin was put on 24-hour surveillance. So they didn't approach him. They just was we are going to watch you 24 hours a day.
They wanted to get more evidence. They probably wanted to find her.
Well, that's exactly what it was. They wanted to see if he would lead them to Sierra alive or her body, or indicate in some way that he is connected besides this small piece of DNA that's on her jeans. Antolin drove a red, I don't like his name.
Antolin?
Antolin. Like,
it is strange. I actually was going to comment on it. Antolin.
Yeah. There's really nothing wrong with it, but it's very strange to say because I want to be like Anthony or Antony or like, anyway, but it's Antolin. Anyway. He drove a red Volkswagen Jetta, and he worked at Safeway, which I don't know if anybody knows, but it's like basically a grocery store in California. And he lived in an RV park with his mother and pregnant girlfriend just 7 miles from Sierra's home. After a few weeks of surveillance, police would obtain footage from another surveillance camera showing a red Jetta in the area of where Sierra went missing within like minutes of that time frame. Police then seized the Jetta for testing since they had that at least.
Yeah.
Sierra's DNA was found on the inside handle of the car. Sorry. And then there was a piece of rope in the trunk of his car, and there was 50 something strands of hair in this rope, but there was one of Sierra's in it. Which I'm like, who's the others? Like,
yeah.
Anyway, there's no mention of that, but that's kind of freaky to think about. I mean, some could be his, I guess, but on May 12th, 2012, so this is like 2 months
later, yeah.
After she goes missing, they arrest Antolin for the kidnapping and murder of Sierra, even though they didn't have a body.
Yeah, okay.
There was no indication that she had been in his home or was in his home, so they were making the assumption that she's murdered, and he took her body and dumped it somewhere. Antolin swore he was innocent. However, during the investigation, they found that he had left his house 15 minutes before Sierra went missing. He told his mom and girlfriend that he was fishing alone all day, so there's no one to corroborate where he was in his story. And there's about 6 hours of the day that are unaccounted for. So like basically when they saw him leave that morning, and then he was gone for like 6 hours, and then later that day he was seen cashing a check at the bank. But the rest of the day is just
cashes a check, huh?
Yeah, right after, why not? And there's no connection to Antolin and Sierra. So he
didn't know her. They didn't. Okay, gotcha.
Not that
no mutual friends or anything like that.
No, he's 21.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's like 5 years older. So he wouldn't have, I know he wouldn't have been like in school with her, but I mean, could have had like a sister or whatever that knew her or something. But no, not anybody knew. A few months later, it was discovered that about 3 years prior to Sierra's disappearance, there were 3 women who had been victims of attempted assault and potential abduction from the Safeway parking lot where he worked. I'm assuming at least one, if not multiple Safeways that were in the area, but I think it was just from the one parking lot.
Okay.
But it's kind of unclear the way they word it. Maybe of the women,
that's who the hairs belonged to.
Well, no.
Okay.
Because all of the women would be entering their car to go home or be sitting in the car, like getting ready to leave, when a suspect would enter the passenger seat and use a stun gun to subdue them. Now, I can tell you that the last, I don't know how many days since I have done this case, every time I get in my car, I lock my doors.
You're supposed to do that.
I think I was good about that for a really long time, but then got out of the habit of it for some reason. But I'm like, man, realizing that I often do like get in my car and like look at my phone for a second or whatever before I drive away, or do that when I pull up, like before I get out of the car. And so it's like, man, I really need to get back in the habit of like locking my door.
Yeah.
Although when my sunroof is open, or I mean, my top is down, they'll just jump in up there, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you can pull away before they get in. Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
That's a good tip. It's a closet sister tip.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I seriously, like, it didn't even dawn on me that I wasn't doing that anymore until I realized, like, nope, I just sit here. Like, out of, anyway,
totally.
So there you go. Do that now again, sisters, if you're not. Okay, so in all of the cases, either the women screaming or a potential passerby would scare the offender off. Okay. So they wouldn't ever they were potential abductions.
Okay, right. He attempted.
So that's why I'm saying I don't think that their hair would have been in the rope unless he had it with him or something. And I guess
it makes sense.
At one of the scenes, well, at the scene, the suspect dropped the stun gun at one of the times. He dropped the stun gun that he had been using. And so when they tested the prints on the stun gun, Antolin's fingerprints were found on the batteries in the stun gun.
Oh, okay.
So on November 13th, even months later, 2012, they added the charges of attempted kidnapping and assault of those 3 women to his charges, even though none of them could pick him out of a police lineup. So,
okay, well, good.
Yeah. Prosecutors were determined to go for the death penalty, even though they had no body, no weapon, and no murder scene.
Okay, right.
That's we all know,
be a hard one. No body cases are so hard.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. We all know that that's so hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even to convict, not even like necessarily like penalty phase, like just to convict in general. His trial was set on September 2nd of 2015. So we're talking years later. I don't know what took so dang long. 3 years later, they set it for April of 2016.
And he's still denying. Like, he's like, I don't know why my DNA is on her jeans.
Yeah, I don't even know what he's saying because he doesn't talk to anybody about it. But yes, he all I know is he says he didn't do it still to this day.
Oh, okay.
So it's set for April of 2016. That gets delayed for unknown reasons until January of 2017. Almost 5 years after Sierra went missing.
And and we don't know where she is this whole time. They don't know what happened to her. That is awful.
The trial lasted 4 months with testimony from Sierra's family and friends. They even had it was like an arborist that gave Antolin that piece of rope. And apparently he was given the piece of rope to practice knots. Who does that?
Well, fishermen, people boating, people that boat.
I guess. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. And I guess he is a fisherman if he said he went fishing all day. Day. Okay, fine. Whatever. So,
and Boy Scouts.
Yeah. Well.
He doesn't sound like a Boy Scout to me, but
definitely not a Boy Scout. Prosecutors said his motive was sexual compulsion and gratification. The jury deliberated for 8 hours on this case. Antolin was found guilty of kidnapping and murder of Sierra and also the attempted assaults of those 3 women.
Amazing.
Yeah. During the sentencing phase, Antolin's mother came to testify, and she would be there to tell them about the hard life that he and her family had endured, which was I guess kind of trying to make them feel a little bit bad for him. Like, okay, maybe he did these things, but here's the possible reasons why. Antolin's father was an alcoholic and was serving a life sentence for sexually abusing a female relative from the ages of 5 to 14.
Yuck.
She and her children, her mother and her children, and Antolin and the rest of the children fled from the abuse of his father several times. Antolin would go on to drop out of high school after struggling throughout it. Like, he quit, then would go back, and then eventually just drops out altogether. The jury rejected the death penalty in the sentencing phase.
Okay.
But did give him a life sentence without the possibility of parole. So I'm good with that. Like I said, Antolin to this day maintains he's innocent in this case and has never divulged where Sierra's body could be. He's typically refused to talk to media about it, except within the last few years where he did respond to one letter from a reporter, but he was still maintaining his innocence. And he said he only responded to this one because it was a handwritten letter and they asked how he was. So he felt like they actually cared.
All right.
Yeah. He refused to discuss any aspects of the case, though. Basically, all he answered was like, hey, yeah, I'm doing well, but I didn't do this crime. And I'm not going to talk about anything else about it. Sierra is still out there somewhere, and her family hopes to be able to bring her home one day and put her to rest. Her family held weekly searches for her body for 3 years following her disappearance until they made the tough decision to stop them on March 14th, 2015.
Yeah.
And there you have Sierra LeMar. And man, I really hope they find her one day, but I don't.
Oh my gosh, me too.
It's been 12 years.
Yeah. I hope they get answers before they pass on. The parents. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah. So sad. So sad.
It
And
is
I mean,
so sad.
I think he did it. I don't care if he's maintaining his innocence. His DNA was found. No other connection. There would be no reason why his DNA would be on anything of hers.
Well, and he had attempted it before.
Well, allegedly, but yes.
Well, no, not allegedly. He got convicted of attempting it before.
Yes. No. Yes, you're right. And like his fingerprints are on batteries inside the stun gun.
Yeah,
so
there's no other.
Just,
that's not coincidental, my dude. Man, I am saddened.
I know. I hate these. I mean, it's a solved one, but I also feel like at the same time, not solved because they don't know where she is. They haven't found her.
Oh, she was so young.
And they don't know what happened to her. Like how she died. Nothing.
Right. That I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I absolutely cannot imagine that kind of tragedy.
No. I can't either. So sad.
No. It is very sad. Nobody should have to do that. I hate that. And poor Sierra, she had her whole life. Big, giant, promising life.
Yep.
And this Antwerp, or whatever his name is.
Antwerp. Oh, that's what I want his name to be, is Antoine, not Antolin.
Yeah. I want it to be Antwerp.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for diving into that. That was probably really frustrating. I feel like if you're anything like me, we go through these cases and you learn about them, and then you want to like put that last piece of the puzzle in there. And you were probably like, wait, but where is she? But what happened? And you're waiting the whole time in the research and it just never comes. Yeah.
I literally am was looking for like articles and would see that there was, a recent one within the last few years. I'm like, oh my gosh, did they find her? And it was, no, it was just that he actually answered a reporter. It's like, oh, I don't care about that.
But, yeah. Wow. Anyway. That's really sad. Well, our hearts go out to her family for sure. Man, it'd be super cool if they found her just randomly. We're going to manifest that. They're going to find her. They're going to find her and they're going to be able to get their answers and put her to rest.
Yes.
There you go.
Yep.
The LeMar family. That is what we are putting out into the universe for you. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Christina, for sending in this very sad case. Happy birthday to Sierra.
Yes.
Late, right? You said it was
just 2 days ago.
Yep. Happy birthday to her. And happy birthday to me next week.
Way to bring it back to you. No, I'm just kidding.
It is mine also. We do have our collab episode, which we mentioned, that is going to be coming out on Monday with Christy and Jess. So that'll be super fun. We hope everybody has a great fall and a good Halloween. And then we'll be back with another regularly normal scheduled episode in November too. If you want to come join us on Patreon, we have a lot of good things going on over there. We're actually just getting ready to record an October crime, which is real wackadoo. It's one of the craziest cases I have personally ever heard of. It is no murder. It's something else. You guys will probably like that. So come join us over there. As always, we appreciate you and we love you. And we have social media, and come see pictures of Sierra. And that's it.
And my buns.
And her buns. I'm really excited about those buns. Yeah, come see pictures of those. And always remember, the world is scary. People suck. Hide in your closet.